There is a moment in every life when the weight of our striving becomes too heavy to bear. We push, we pull, we plan, and we worry, only to find that our efforts leave us more exhausted than before. It is in these moments that we hear a gentle whisper, a call that echoes through the ages. Surrender. Surrender is not a word we often embrace. It feels like defeat, like giving up, like admitting that we are not enough. But what if surrender is not the end of the story, but the beginning? What if, in letting go, we find a strength we never knew we had? What if, in releasing our grip, we open ourselves to the possibility of divine surprises? Today, I invite you to consider the beauty and power of surrender, not as a loss, but as a gateway to God's greatest blessings. To surrender to God is not to admit defeat. It is to step into divine alignment. The world teaches us that to yield is to lose, that to relinquish control is to invite chaos. But the kingdom of God does not follow the patterns of this world. What seems like a retreat in human eyes is often an advance in the spiritual realm. To lay down your plans at his feet is not weakness, it is wisdom. For what are our plans but fragile castles built on sand, constantly at the mercy of the shifting winds of life? Surrender is not the end of a journey, it is the beginning of a deeper one. It is the soul whispering, not my will, but yours be done, even when the horizon is dark and silent. In that moment, we exchange our limited sight for his boundless vision. God does not strip us of control to leave us wandering aimlessly. He takes the reins because he knows the way. We hold a single thread, but he sees the entire tapestry. And here lies the beautiful mystery. When we surrender, we open the door for God's surprises. The very dreams we thought were slipping through our fingers may return, not as we imagined, but as something greater, something eternal. His surprises are not random, they are strategic. The job you lost may lead to a calling you never considered. The closed door may be the very thing that saves you from walking into ruin. His hand moves in ways we cannot predict, and his answers often arrive wrapped in unexpected forms. So surrender is not the final word, it is the seed from which divine surprises grow. Let go, not into emptiness, but into the arms of the one who knows the end from the beginning. We grip the reins of our lives as if they were ever truly ours to command. There is a quiet illusion we often live under, the belief that if we plan enough, strive enough, and worry enough, we can control the outcome. Yet, how many times have our best-laid plans unraveled? How often have the things we clung to with white-knuckle determination slipped through our fingers like sand? The truth is, we were never meant to hold every piece together. Our strength was never the foundation of our future. The more we try to seize control, the more we push away the gentle hand of the one who truly holds it all. But here lies the wonder. When we finally loosen our grip, God does not leave us stranded. No, he moves, often in the most hidden ways. His work is quiet but certain, like roots growing beneath the surface of the earth. Just because you do not see his hand doesn't mean he is still. His silence is never his absence. Behind every closed door, beyond every unanswered prayer, he is preparing something. The very moment you think all is lost may be the moment he is shifting the heavens on your behalf. What feels like delay is often divine design. And when his surprise comes, it does not trickle in softly. It breaks forth like the dawn, sudden and radiant. Surrender, then, is not the end of your story. It is the quiet opening of a new chapter God has already written. God is never idle, even when his hand seems hidden. We often measure his presence by visible signs, answered prayers, open doors, or sudden miracles. Yet, the absence of these does not mean he is absent. His most profound work often happens in the unseen places, in the quiet corners of our lives where we least expect it. Just because we cannot trace his movements does not mean he is motionless. The farmer does not watch the seed every moment to see if it is growing. He trusts that beneath the soil something is stirring. So it is with God. He works in the shadows, arranging pieces we do not even know exist. The silence you feel might be the very place where he is building the foundation for what comes next. His surprises are not last-minute adjustments. They are carefully crafted moments, revealed in his perfect time. What you call a waiting season, he calls preparation. While you look for signs, he is shaping the outcome. And when the moment comes, his surprises are never small. They unfold with a purpose greater than we imagined, like a curtain suddenly pulled back to reveal a masterpiece in progress. The closed doors were not punishments, they were protection. The delays were not denials, they were his way of aligning your heart with his will. Trust this, though you may not see his hand today, it is moving, and when he chooses to reveal his work, it will be more than you hoped for, because it will be exactly what he intended. God's timing rarely mirrors our own, yet his surprises are never late. We live in a world ruled by the ticking of clocks and the turning of calendars, measuring progress by what we can see and touch. But God operates outside of time, working with a precision that often feels like delay to us. When we ask, "How long, Lord?" it is not because he has forgotten us, but because his plans move according to his perfect wisdom, not our impatience. What we call waiting is often the very place where God is at work the most. The caterpillar in its cocoon may feel confined, even abandoned, but the stillness is not a sign of neglect, it is the process of transformation. So too are the seasons of waiting in our lives. We long for immediate answers, yet God is preparing something greater than we dare to imagine. The job that didn't come through, the relationship that didn't work out, the door that remained firmly shut, all may feel like divine silence, but they are often the stage being set for his unexpected glory. And then, when we least expect it, his surprise breaks forth, not a moment too soon or too late, but in the exact hour he ordained. What seemed like delay becomes the sudden move of God. His answer rarely arrives according to our timeline, but when it does, it carries the unmistakable mark of his hand. Perfect, purposeful, and beyond what we could have asked for. To surrender to God is to trust in the unseen and the unfolding. We live our lives one page at a time, bound by the present moment, often unable to glimpse beyond the veil of today. But God is not confined to a single chapter. He is the author of the whole story. While we wrestle with the questions of now, he is already writing the answers into the pages yet to come. Our perspective is limited, like staring at a tapestry from the back, seeing only the knots and tangled threads, while he views the finished design from above. This is the essence of surrender, not blind resignation, but confident trust. It is the choice to believe that God is working even when the plot seems to twist in ways we do not understand. The doors that close before us, the sudden changes we did not ask for, the silence that feels endless. All these are not random events, but strokes of his divine pen, shaping a narrative far richer than our own plans could ever produce. And when God moves, his surprises are never small. They are not afterthoughts or last-minute corrections. They are intentional, powerful, and always timed with precision. What seemed like a setback may suddenly unfold into a blessing beyond what we asked for. The relationship that ended may make space for one that reflects his heart. The waiting season may birth a calling we never anticipated. Surrender means trusting that though we may not know what the next chapter holds, we belong to the one who writes the story. His surprises are not merely unexpected, they are revelations of his perfect plan, showing us again and again that he is both the author and the finisher of our faith. So, what then is surrender? It is not a sign of defeat, it is a bold act of trust. It is laying down the pen we so desperately cling to and allowing the author of life to write the next lines. It is the quiet resolve to say, "Your will, not mine," even when the path ahead is clouded with uncertainty. And though surrender may feel like silence, it is often the prelude to God's greatest surprises. For the one who formed the heavens and stretched out the stars does not abandon his work halfway. He moves in the unseen, weaves purpose into waiting, and unfolds answers at the appointed time. What you call a delay, he calls preparation. What feels like an ending may be the opening scene of something far greater than you ever imagined. So take heart. When you surrender, you do not fall into emptiness. You fall into the arms of a God who holds your past, present, and future. And when his surprises come, and they will not be small or rushed. They will be perfect, timely, and marked by his unfailing love. Trust him, let go, and watch how he moves. For when you surrender to God, he just might surprise you very soon.